Welcome to Reality with Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, and on this channel, we discuss reality TV, celebrity gossip, and viral topics. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. A link will be in the description box below, and we also have it linked in our bio. All right, so life after lockup. This episode starts with Sarah and Sean. So he agrees to take her tanning, and he is just like so obsessed, like because she had to undress. Oh my god, she's so hot. Da, da, da. I'm like, you need to calm down. He's so thirsty. Anyway, the spray tanner tech lady was like to Sean, "Why don't you get a tan? You need a tan. Come on." And he was at first he's like, "No," and he was like, "Really?" Because now Sarah is like convincing him to get a tan. So, he has to sign a release. So she's asking all his information, asking about his birthday, and he's like, the year he said 74. So Sarah's like, when's your birthday? Excuse me? And he's like, oh, January 12th or whatever the date was. She said, no, the year. And he was like, yeah. And she was like, so you're not 36? Now, I'm trying to understand, in what world does Sean look 36? And I'm just like, he's such a freaking liar. He get on my nerves. So Sarah's like, oh, so you wanted to get on me about keeping secrets. And, and he was like, oh, well, I must have had a good reason. What would be the reason, Sean? And you still haven't told her about your 6 kids. So Sarah's like, that's weird. Why would you lie about your age? And one thing that I know, if a man lies about his age, that's a big red flag. Like, you need to run. So she was kind of disappointed to find out that he was actually 10 years older than what he was. And I'm like, Sean looks every bit of 46. Like, that is not someone who's in their 30s. He might act like it. He might act maybe even younger than that, like a child, but ain't no way he younger All than. Right, so Brittany and Marcelino and friends go out to eat after not being able to get the things that they wanted out of the sober house. And Marcelino is just asking all of the right questions. He's like to Kanan, like, why was he the only person on the bank account? Why did you let that happen? And she was like, oh, I didn't let it happen. Robert went and got the bank account, and he said that I couldn't be on it because of my background. And I spoke to an attorney from Jump. He told me to get some contracts, but I just thought it would be weird at this point. And Marcelino is just like shaking his head. And I'm just like, exactly. What sense does it make to let somebody like that have total control? And obviously hindsight is 2020, but come on. If you got any type of business sense, you get them contracts in place, and that you should be able to have equal access to the money. So as they're leaving the restaurant, Brittany's like she has to go to the bathroom. Kanan follows her to the bathroom, and she is just getting piped up in the bathroom like, no, F that. We gonna go over there and get our money. He ain't gonna punk us. If we was in jail, this would never happen. But it's like, babe, you're not in jail anymore. And you can't just go and do whatever you want. Like, he already showed you that he'll call the cops on you. So why are you like, who the F is Robert? Blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, that money is gone. Your husband just told you that money is long gone. you could be in court forever trying to get that money back. And that's what I've been saying. Like, especially if he went on a drug binge and spent that money up and tricked that money off, that money is good as gone. Okay, so Stan and Lisa. So, oh my God. All right, so we start out Stan with his tidy whities and his toupee, and I'm just trying to figure out why Stan didn't have no pants on. You knew the cameras was coming over. You should have been dressed. We don't want to see that. So anyway, he goes downstairs to talk to Lisa. He's like, "Oh, what's going on, sweet cakes or whatever he said to her?" And she's already on 1,000. I don't know. Her energy is weird to me. It's like somebody who is on drugs. But anyway, she's upset because she feels like Stan lied to the pastor. He didn't own up to anything. And she's just angry about it. She's like, "Oh, we did meet on a site to basically exchange money for sex and all of these things, and she doesn't want to do that anymore. She wants somebody who's going to love her." And Stan is acting confused. He's like, "What did I lie about?" And she was like, "You stupid, dumb." And she was like, "Cut the cameras off." So I'm getting angry. What are you angry about? Even with him playing stupid, it's really taking you to that level. And then she was like, she went out, goes outside, and she's like showing the cameras. "See, he texted me the other day saying that I had to have sex with him for two. I had to be with him for 2 days and 2 nights in order for him to pay my car taxes, in order for him to give me $1,600." And I'm just confused as to where things in the relationship changed, because if that was the arrangement from jump, why are you getting upset about him trying to continue that arrangement? So Stan, after she left out, Stan was like, "She's 2 seconds from getting kicked out of here." And she comes back and she was like, "I showed them everything. I told them everything. So you can't lie about it." Blah, blah, blah. Stan looking embarrassed. He's like, "I do everything and I'm always basically getting beat up about it." And I'm not a Stan advocate, but Lisa B, she's treating him horribly. It's almost like elder abuse. I'm like, where's his kids at? Because she just want to use and abuse and not give anything in return. And I'm not saying that she has to provide that for him, but if that's the agreement, then that's the agreement. And if it's such a horrible situation to be in, then Lisa, just leave. Every week, I'm just like, "Girl, just leave, just go." But she always is just turning up on him, and obviously, like, he's not gonna admit to paying you for sex. Obviously, you can tell that that's something that he's embarrassed about. So he's like, one thing I'm gonna be doing less is sending those text messages. And even within all of that, he still apologized to her. Like, "I'm sorry for whatever it is that I did." And it's just like, I don't understand. Because then, if you want to pay for sex, go ahead and do you. But find somebody else who's gonna make it worth your while. I don't know why he's stuck on Lisa. It's literally exasperating watching Deontay. This this man goes over to visit his mother. His mother's like, "Oh, what's going on with you?" He's like, "Oh, I went on a date the other day and I think you would like her." So his mom was like, "What's going on with that Nicole girl?" This this delusional person proceeds to tell his mother, "Oh, she called me the other day." And she's like, "Okay." And she asked me if I would like to do a three-way relationship. She said, "A what?" He said, "A three-way relationship." And she was like, "Well, what does that even mean? Because that's not even a thing, but okay." He says, "Well, I would be with Nicole, but the other girl would also be with Nicole, and I would be with the other girl as well. Now I'm trying to figure out, and maybe she didn't explain it correctly, but I'm trying to figure out why he thinks that he would also be with Tia. Tia never had a conversation with you about you being with her, and she doesn't strike me as the type of woman who is intimate with men. She doesn't like men, so why would she be with you? So his mother is like, what is wrong with you? Did I drop you on your head? I'm like, you must have been doing something. You must have been flailing on your stomach, punching your stomach or something when he was inside, because this boy has rocks for brains. What is going on? And she told him, like, if this was love, if she loves you, like, this is not how she would show it. Like, this is not love. And he's like, oh, I know you might look at me crazy, but, and it's just like, you know what? Do whatever you gonna do, but you gonna get played in the end. And it's just like, he like, oh, I miss her, I want to be with her, all these different things. Oh, I know she feels protected by me. Deontay, how? You never been with the girl, you never been with her intimately. She barely wanted you around when she first got out. It's still not necessarily looking for you to be around. So why are you feeling like you have been protecting her and she feels protected by you? And he also feels like she might be in some trouble with Tia. Like, when did she say those things to you? And he definitely was the where my hug at dude in high school. Like, no. So Amber and Puppy convinced their boyfriends to do a double date. And both of their boyfriends are suspicious because Amber and Puppy were once an item. But they go ahead and go on the date. So the date is a little bit awkward because Eric is not interested in meeting Amber and Sammy is not interested in meeting Puppy. But they kind of sit through it. Puppy and Amber go outside to smoke and just talk about how the date is going. They come back and somebody sends over a drink. A man sends over a drink to Amber. Now, Amber accepts it and Sammy gets highly upset. Like, he was cussing, like cussing her out. And he might have taken it a little bit too far, but she could have refused that drink. Like, girl, did you really need another drink? And if you needed one, you couldn't buy it, or Sammy couldn't buy it for you. Like, you shouldn't have done that. But he was upset. He felt very disrespected. I think he was also really drunk too, though, because he was like talking to the cameras, and he was just a hot mess. But he left Amber at the restaurant. He bounced and did not care how she was gonna make it home. Eric, on the other hand, says that when he thinks about Amber and Puppy being together, he gets disgusted, and he's not really here for them trying to be friends again. All right, so this episode ends with Brittany and Kanan breaking into the sober house, trying to get in because they want their stuff and they want to confront Robert, drunk and all. And he calls the cops, of course, calls 911, and the cops show up and tell them they can't take anything. And it's a civil matter. You're going to have to deal with it in court. And they are just so fired up now. I would be very upset if somebody stole $80,000 and any like donated items, but like, there has to be some way that y'all can report him, especially if like this is a nonprofit. He's stealing money from the nonprofit. Like, he need to go to jail. But anyway, that's it for this episode. We'll see what happens next week, and I will talk to you next time.